I used to think there was a perfect way to book a flight. Tuesday at midnight, you clear your cache, you go incognito mode, all of those myths. And I tried it. I watched prices. I waited. I timed it. I paid more anyway. And I sat there staring at the confirmation screen thinking, did I just get played? Or is this whole book on the right day thing just all made up? Turns out some of it's real and some of it is just complete nonsense. See, here's what actually is happening, in my opinion. Every time you book a flight, there's this low-key anxiety underneath it. Not just, is this flight cheap? But did somebody else get it cheaper? Did I wait too long? Should I have booked last week? And that feeling right there, that's why the myth keeps spreading. Because if there's a trick, a window, a magic day, at least you feel like you have some control. The problem is, most of the tricks, they don't work. And the ones that actually do work, nobody's really talking about them. But that's what we clear up today. Let's clear up the myths and get you in the cheapest seat you can find. Let's start with the myth first. Tuesday, because at some point, someone told all of us, book on a Tuesday because that's when airline drops their prices. And here's the thing, that used to be kind of true. Back when airlines updated their fares manually once a week, there was a brief window when prices would dip and people caught on. But that's not how it works anymore. Now pricing moves constantly. AI changed all of that. Prices move every few minutes based on how many seats are left, what competitors are charging, and how many people actually search that route that day. The data always changes. So that book on Tuesday, Google Flights actually tracked that for a few years. And the difference that they came back was nothing. And when Expedia did their most recent report, it flipped it completely. They suggested that Sunday or Friday might actually have better averages than Tuesday. So the cheapest day to book, it's not even Tuesday anymore. It might not even be consistent even though you have a winner. See, the system I told you is moving constantly. The faster you stop chasing the magic day to buy a ticket, the faster you can focus on what actually moves the number. Because most people always ask, they thought incognito mood mattered, but it doesn't. See, when you search a flight and then you come back and all of a sudden that flight price went up, it's not because they saw you coming. It's because somebody else bought that seat. This is how airlines sell their inventory. Airlines sell inventory in blocks of 10. Seat at 200, the next 10 at 250. All that happened is someone grabbed the last $200 seat while you was deciding. That's it. It wasn't personal. That's just how seats get sold. Now here's where it really gets interesting, because we just discussed the cheapest day to book is mostly noise, doesn't matter, it's all a lie, it's a myth. But the cheapest day to fly, that's real. The difference is not small. Google Flights and Expedia both track this consistently. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday are the cheapest days to actually be on that plane. Midweek, Tuesday and Wednesday specifically, can run 10 to 20% cheaper than on weekend flights. And when you hear the reason, it makes sense once you see it. Business travelers, they dominate the Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Vacation crowds, they hit Friday and Sunday. See, that leaves Tuesday and Wednesday just sitting there half empty. Airlines drop prices to fill seats. Saturday works the same exact way. See, most people, when they fly back on Sunday. So the outbound Saturday doesn't even get the same rush. The day you sit on the plane matters way more than the time you buy the ticket. Okay, so if booking the day doesn't really matter, what does timing actually look like? There is a window and it is real. Data from Hopper and Going, two platforms that track billions of flight prices, they put it here. Domestic flights, you want to book 1 to 3 months out. International flights, you want to book 2 to 8 months out. If you book inside that window, you're working within the system. If you book too early, the inventory isn't released yet. If you book too late, the scarcity pricity kicks in and you're paying more. That is the closest thing to a real strategy that exists. Not a magic day, just a range. And once you know the window, stop watching the prices manually. That just stresses you out with no payoff. Set up a Google Flights alert on your route. It'll notify you when the price drops. You don't have to keep watching. It watches it for you. And if you've already booked, let me tell you, there's a service called Refare. Forward your confirmation email to them, and if the price drops, they negotiate a refund or credit with the airline automatically. Capital One has the same thing through their travel portal. It's a built-in version of this. Price drop protection, automatic. If the price goes down, no extra steps, they do it for you. And the VPN thing, unlike incognito, it actually has a mechanism. Booking through a VPN and you set the destination to the country sometimes can surface a lower local fare that aren't showed in the United States. Not guaranteed, but at least it's based on something real and not a myth. All this gets easier the more flexible you are. Flexible on the day you fly. You can hit those cheap midweek windows. Flexible on your trip length. Saturday to Wednesday consistently beats Friday to Sunday. Flexible on timing. The Goldilocks window opens up. And if you're locked in holiday, peak, summer fixed dates, pricing strategy, that's not going to save you. What saves you is early planning and building a real budget, not a trick, just lead time. So here's where it lands. Let's cover it all. The cheapest day to book, mostly a myth, not worth chasing. The cheapest day to fly, that's real, 10 to 20% cheaper during the midweek. Booking window, real, 1 to 3 months for domestic, 2 to 8 months international. The people who consistently pay less aren't finding the secret. There is no secret. The people paying less, they just stopped chasing one. They figured out how the system actually prices their seats and how it works, and they make decisions that work within it. Once you see it that way, you stop guessing. This is Flight Risk. Real travel decisions, no hype.